terms of avoiding them, and if the demon has knocked on the door, how to actually process the experience and recover from it, because it is an extremely traumatic experience. Protecting yourself, I think it's really a consciousness issue. You must learn how to start trusting yourself more and not externalizing your consciousness to other external forces, be that individuals who can promise you the sun and the moon, the stars, when they're only, interested in using you, and more importantly, government and corporations who will promise you, this, that, and the other, as long as you assign yourself to their belief package. The thing always comes down to individuality and trusting your intuition. That's extremely important.
Yeah.
I wrote quite a lot in the book about intuition because, in my own life, my own background, where I came from, I could honestly say that the greatest thing that I ever had in my life was my intuition, because even when I had nothing and I was stuck somewhere in a country miles from home, my intuition saved me time and time again. And a lot of people who have been damaged by psychopaths always say the same thing. The red flags were there in the early days. I ignored them. I suppressed them because, he was so good looking. Oh, she was, she was so pretty. Oh, she had so much money. Oh, the job was the perfect job. I didn't want to quit it. Oh, he was the perfect political candidate who promised me everything. And your intuition is that is a gold mine within inside you. And, the universe gave you that for a reason. And that's what I would say to people. That's the main thing. If you follow your gut feeling, and that's a sense, that's an organ inside you. It may not be a physical organ, but it's as important as anything else in there. When you meet someone who's just a beautiful soul, you just know it. Likewise, if you meet someone who's a psychopath, no matter how the ego is actually processing the experience, your intuition will be ringing a little alarm bell inside you saying, be careful, be careful, be careful. Yeah. But we're raised in such a society where we're told not to question things and jump in. We're told to be impulsive by media. Media today is incredibly psychopathic. It just tells you to throw yourself at every experience and don't protect yourself. And that's the thing to tell teenage kids particularly, is to start warning them about these people, because the wolves are out there and we're all lambs to the slaughter. I mean, I never knew about this stuff coming up in my life, and you never knew about it, and here we are. We get these people prey on you. And I can tell you something else. Once you read books like mine, or you spend years studying it, what happens is the most remarkable thing. It's almost like a give off an instinctual defense signal to these individuals, these psychopaths, and they no longer target you. It's almost like they know when you're wise to them. Your ignorance is their power, you know what I mean? They depend on your... It's very difficult for the average person, whether it's in Canada, in Ireland, US, England, any country, Japan, China, you name it. It's very difficult for the average human being to get their head around the idea of a human being having no conscience, nothing in there, and the idea of a human being just purely being a predatory consciousness that's out to get everyone. But our instincts, our intuitions are very, very aware of these things. We have them for a reason. It's almost like it's almost like the last vestige of our caveman mentality, survival instinct. It's the same thing that would have told them that a saber-toothed tiger was nearby. The same thing tells us that a psychopath is nearby. So we have to learn to trust our intuitions and trust ourselves. That's another important one as well. A lot of people today don't have enough self-belief in themselves, mainly because it's been destroyed by advertising, particularly women. Now, I'm not being sexist here or anything like that.
True.
I'm just saying, I was in the local supermarket in town here today, and I live in a small village in the west of Ireland, and the magazines are appalling. They literally are destroying women's consciousness. And the men's magazines are just stupid. They're just pictures of women with their, in swimsuits, these kind of lads magazines. But the women's magazines in particular, they're awful. And they're all about, get this guy, get that man, get the perfect shoes, get this, get that. And it's like, no, you've got to learn to protect all that stuff, because this is what psychopaths love. They want you to be an open book. I'd also urge people to be very protective of their personal privacy, especially on things like Facebook. Don't be putting every aspect of your life out there, especially if you're a lonely person looking for a relationship. These people will jump on you like, like piranhas or something, and nowadays it makes it so easy for those types now, things like Facebook and MySpace, where people put every aspect of their life down. Like, I was looking at my Facebook page today, and somebody on the wall a friend of a friend had posted, "Oh, I'm so alone living in this house. I have everything now, the perfect job. All I need is a man." Yeah. And it's like, oh, no, please don't do that. That's something you share with your friends. And again, that comes from the media. You see TV shows like Big Brother and all these other shows where, are these awful celebrity shows like MTV Cribs, where, it's also part of this greater psychopathic control grid, which I go, the second